Do, do, do.
Right, we're live.
Solid mush.
Are you alright to get the Majugi?
Majugi. I've got the link, I'll be able to find and get one to the
Once you've posted that out, we'll start up in 2 minutes. Once you've posted that out, we'll start up in 2 minutes. Cruz is going round the track.
Yeah?
Cruz is going round the track. Let's do it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a very, very warm welcome to Shoot Some Shale, powered by D&D Media, for tonight's watch along, where we will be giving you reactions to the Cab Direct Championship knockout cup meeting tonight. Is the Oxford Cheetahs versus the Glasgow Tigers. The Tigers coming into this meeting with a 51-39 win from the first leg. It's going to be a very, very tough order for the Cheetahs to overcome a 12-point deficit. Tonight, I am world famous, almost Scunny Dan, joined by Dylan Hodgetts as always. Dylan, how are we doing tonight, no?
Yeah, all good, man. Looking forward to this one. Should be a good meeting. Here we go again.
Yeah, another meeting for us both, and you went to the televised meeting at Birmingham on Monday. What was your thoughts on the overall meeting?
Yeah, it was really good. I think it was It was fantastic for the TV cameras. Track was set up perfectly. Some good racing. Both teams gave it full beans, and a good result for the Brummies fans as well. But yeah, overall, really, really good meeting. Really good product for the year, first Eurosport meeting.
Yeah, 100%. I kind of have to agree with them sentiments. To be fair, really enjoyed the meeting as a whole. So yeah, no, it was great. It was great to see Birmingham actually finally get that first win, and what a team to do it against.
Yeah, it was a good night, and hopefully if tonight's meeting lives up to that, anything like that, we're in for a good one.
100%. The weather over in Oxford, it is overcast but dry at the moment, so it's looking good for some racing action this evening. I'll pass you on to my co-host tonight, who will run down the Oxford Cheetahs lineup.
For the Cheetahs, at one, he's probably the highest average rider I think in the league this season, Sam Masters. Henry Atkins rides at number 2, coming off a tough meeting the other night. Cameron Heaps goes at number 3, Jordan Jenkins at 4, Scott Nichols skippers the Cheetahs at 5, Ashton Bowden at 6, and Luke Killeen rides at number 7.
So for the visitors tonight then, the Glasgow Tigers, managed by Cammy Brown. Riding at number 1 is Chris Harris. James Pearson rides at number 2. Going at number 3, there is Leon Flint. Experienced campaigner Paul Stark rides at number 4. Stevie Worrell goes at number 5. The 2 guest reserves tonight for the Tigers at number 6 is Connor Coles. And at number 7, a man I've seen quite a lot of recently, Jack Smith. So, Bill, without any further ado, who are your men to watch for each team?
This is quite boring, but I'm going to go for the number 1 for both teams. Sam Masters flies around this track, and after a steady start to the season, I think he's finally turned a corner, and he's back to somewhere near his best. And I think he'll do really well tonight. And for Glasgow, it's hard to look past Chris Harris, riding for the Oxford Premiership team, so it's his home track in the top league, and he's the visitor there tonight. So if anybody knows their way around the track and knows where to be, it's Bomber.
100%. For the Cheetahs myself, I've gone for Jordan Jenkins. I think, he's not a million miles off having that big push that he needs to really kick on this season. I think, tonight could very well be the night, looking at the opposite number and some of the riders that is against the riders he should really be beating in this league. So I've got him as my rider to watch tonight, and I hope his confidence has a good boost from that. And for the Tigers, I've gone for James Pearson. He, I believe he set the track record in the first meeting at Glasgow this year, and he's had a very solid start to the season. So, Little P or Jimmy P or whatever he wants to be called is my rider to watch tonight.
Craig Hurl commented saying, I think this is won or lost in the middle orders.
He's not wrong. I agree with that. And good evening to you, Craig, and thank you for watching along with us this evening.
Interesting on the BSN coverage at the minute, you got Sam Masters and Steve Worrell out looking at the track. Very formidable partnership for Wolves over the past couple of years.
Yeah, 100%. Sam Masters was really, really good around Wolves, and Steve took to Wolves like a duck to water, so yeah, maybe they'll be teammates again there one day, who knows?
Track looks good. I think we've got really lucky with the weather, and I can actually see some somewhat brighter clouds around.
And now the track does look in really good nick actually. It's been tyre packed in well, but you can tell there's plenty of dirt on there as well. So yeah, it looks good. We should be in for a decent night of racing at Oxford.
And
I
and
don't know about you, Dillo.
the track's offered some very good racing this year as well. The last watch along we did, I think was it Plymouth one, where Plymouth were here. I think that was
Possibly.
that was just a test one, weren't it? But when we watched that meeting, there was some really good racing inside line, outside line.
Yeah, 100%. I was going to say I don't know about you. I feel as though I've seen more of Oxford this year than I have my own team.
I feel like Oxford probably ride on the ideal night for us to do these watch-alongs, don't they? Wednesday night meetings are probably the easiest night for us to get these on.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, should be some good racing here tonight. Two good-looking teams, and yeah. Any score predictions tonight, Mister Dill?
I think Oxford win on the night. Will they win by more than 12? Possibly. If their reserves click into gear, I think they could do it. I'd say I'm gonna go for Oxford by 10. I think they just miss out.
That's fair enough. That's I can't disagree with that, to be honest. Maybe even a little bit closer, depending on obviously how the riders get on. Just a quick shout to Jack Smith as well, because I don't think he's done as much riding ever as he has done this season so far.
And he's coming back off a pretty awkward crash at Workington last weekend as well. So good to see him suffering no ill effects from that one.
Yeah, he had a bit of a horrid weekend, didn't he, did old Jack? He burnt an engine, I believe it was, at Berwick on Saturday. So yeah, tough little weekend for the geezer. Over on the BSN coverage, Sam and Steve are still walking around the track with Adam Ryan and just giving Adam the thoughts on the track, and it looks like Stevie Walls just found 20 pence on there.
He's going to keep that in his pocket to stick in the meter if there's a power cut.
Yeah, I can't fault him. I'd keep the 20p myself.
Cost of living and all that.
I won't be putting it in the meter.
We got 5 people watching on YouTube at the moment, so if anyone wants to get involved, drop a comment, keep us sane. I think there is weather around, so I get the feeling this meeting may get pushed through relatively quickly. But it's always good to have people in the comments to keep us sane during track grades and stuff like that.
While we're obviously still waiting for the meeting to go ahead, Dill, did you watch the Grand Prix on Saturday night?
I haven't. I've saw the result. I haven't watched the action. Grand Prix just don't appeal to me as much as they probably once did. But it was nice to see a different name at the top of the podium, and 3 riders who have spent a majority of their careers in British Speedway with Jack Alder, Jason Doyle and Freddie. And on a difficult track where it's you need to have a little bit of track craft about you as well as just speed.
Yeah, 100%. For the Gorican track in Croatia, it was probably the best meeting I've had there since Chris Harris come second many years ago. But yeah, Jack Alder, 100% well-deserved winner of the meeting, and yeah, really looking forward to going to Warsaw next week.
So we've got about 4 minutes till tapes are supposed to go up. Although they are still doing their pre-recorded track walk and talk. Track looks quite grippy actually, considering it's probably been packed in with the expectation of weather coming in.
100%. We've done a really good job on the track. It looks really nice. It looks quite smooth from what obviously we can see on the picture. So yeah, hopefully we'll be in for a really good race meeting. And yeah.
And now is probably
So
the time of the night where we clarify that we won't be showing the action. It'll just be us doing commentary over the top of it. The meeting is available to purchase on BSN for, I think it's $11.99.
I believe it is. But yeah, no, buy your pass for 11.99. Back it on mute and let us talk you through the action and put a comment in the YouTube comments box. We'll give you a shout out as the two teams now just come out on parade.
It's been a bit of a trek for a few of these riders. Luke Killian and Ashton Bowden in the under-21 semi-final at Plymouth last night, and then up here tonight.
That's a bit of a trek, that, isn't it? Yeah, so we found out obviously last night the additional 10 qualifiers for the British under-21 final, which will be held at Glasgow on the 2nd of June, I do believe, which will also be live on BSN. It's a Sunday afternoon, so whether we do a watch along to that is still to be determined, but it's an idea.
Yeah, anything's possible. Is that included in the BSN season pass? I don't think it is. It'll probably be put on as an extra, won't it?
No, it was in the past last year.
We may fall lucky then. The two legends at the start, Bomber and Scotty Nichols, two captains, talking to the stadium presenter.
I'm glad you named the two legends, because me and you, we are not at Oxford much. I can confirm that we've got 3 people watching along now, and one of them's me. So good evening to anybody and everybody that has decided to join us on this lovely Wednesday evening.
This, of course, the only meeting taking place tonight, with Paul being called off last night. So that kind of takes
100%.
away that sort of takes away a little bit of our filler time during track raids, because there'll be no other meeting to update on.
Oh, well, hopefully you guys that are watching with us tonight, get yourselves in the comments, and while the track grading's on, we can all have a little chin wag between the however many there are of us.
Everyone loves a chin wag, and there's no Alan tonight as well, because he's decided to go on holiday instead of watching his team race.
D45's already in the post, and that's from Glasgow for being a fake fan. So Peter Schroek there talking to Chris Harris and Sam Masters. No doubt Peter Schroek will be whacking Chris a brown envelope to have an off night tonight.
Peaches replied in the chat. What a legend.
Good evening, Mr. Peach. I will see you on Friday evening.
Riders are just being introduced now. Cammy Brown and Peter Schroek just shook hands. It is strange, and Bomber's Premiership manager is the opposition manager tonight. It's such a strange sport.
You wouldn't have this in any other sport, would you?
No, absolutely not.
No, you wouldn't have. I'm not big with football, so just you might have to correct me here, but you wouldn't have Cristiano Ronaldo with whoever he plays for now guesting for Scunthorpe United, would you?
It is a funny old sport, isn't it? Anyone that's watching, if you can just let us know that the sound's okay. Obviously, we had to sack Alan off doing the production for these kind of things when he messed it up the other week. So we're still learning, still getting things right. But hopefully the sound is good.
Yeah, hopefully all will be okay, guys. And yeah, as Dylan just said, if there's any issues with sound or you just want to send us a message, please be nice to us. We don't bite, I promise. Just bang it in the chat, and the chat gets regularly looked at. So your messages won't go unnoticed.
And interesting, the other day, Jordan Jenkins put out a social media post actually asking if there was any practice going anywhere, so he could just go and enjoy riding again. And that's the issue, anyway, when you struggling a little bit at the start, and you've got these teams that you feel like you're not performing for. It's really easy to just stop enjoying it.
It is 100%, and I've known Jordan probably about 10 years now since he started route riding, and he's one of the soundest guys I've ever met. And it's sad to see a young British up and coming rider not enjoying bike time. And I think especially with the Cheetahs here at Oxford, he's effectively been forced to perform like a third heat leader, where obviously you've got the extra pressure. And one day it will just click. It will just click for him, and we'll see the JJ that we saw last year, and that's not James Jessup, because James Jessup doesn't ride his bike as often as Jordan Jenkins.
Or ever.
Well, there is that. Apparently he rode at Redcar the other day. He wasn't very great.
Is that the one that you were assisting with?
Oh, no.
Riders just going back into the pits. Peachy saying, I think riding for Ipswich in the main body hasn't helped him either. Yeah, he's kind of been a little bit of a victim of riders underperforming last year and JJ achieving a decent average in the Rising Star scheme, and then with the first change in averages he was pushed into the main body. Does move down to reserve now for this month. He joins Keenan Rue at reserve for Ipswich, so hopefully that'll get Jenkins a few more points on the board, and he can enjoy it a little bit more. Just looking at the BSN schedule that's coming up for the next few days.
Yeah, it looks like Plymouth. Is that Plymouth versus Workington on Saturday?
Plymouth versus Workington on Wednesday the 1st. No, that's wrong.
That's today.
Yeah. Oh God, this is a bit messed up, isn't it? But on Saturday we've got Plymouth versus Oxford.
We've got Plymouth on BSN on Wednesday.
And on Monday we've got Premiership Oxford Spires versus Leicester Lions.
Oxford again. I believe we're planning on doing a watch along for Oxford versus Leicester on Monday.
Possibly. Obviously, if we can sort things out, and yeah, it's bank holiday, isn't it? So
yes, it is, sir.
Riders now coming out of the pits. We still don't know what the gates are going to be. We have got a scorecard that Palmer's going to be updating through the meeting, and that'll be coming up on the screen after every track grade. That'll keep up to date with individual scores and points from which gate.
Yeah. Numbers.
Who'd do 'em, eh? Peter Schroet pushing Sam Masters off there.
It's good to see that the team manager's earning his pocket money for the evening.
And it looks like Oxford are off 2 and 4.
So yeah, Oxford going off Then gates 2 and 4 from heat number 1. Battle of the big guns, obviously in heat number 1, and 3 of our 4 riders to watch in this one.
Still got 4 people watching. Very nice of these people to stick around.
One of them is me, Mush. Oh, I'll keep YouTube on till the end of the stream. Again, don't be afraid to join us. Put your comments in the chat, and if you're watching along with us, good evening to you.
What's happened here? James Pearson's going back into the pits, and he's taking his goggles off. Has he been timed out?
Who knows? It looks like he may have been.
Looks like he's been disqualified under 2 minutes. Jack Smith is coming in yellow.
Jack Smith coming in. Farmer already at the start of tonight's meeting.
Jack Smith scored a handy few points for the Tigers in the first leg of this meeting last week.
But I believe he got about 12, wasn't it? And maybe his thoughts of riding for the Tigers in these guest appearances, maybe if he does well for them, there's a potential contract there. Supersonic Scorpion, I do believe that is my dad. Good evening to you. Hope you're doing well.
So the lineup for heat number 1, a reserve change off gate number 1 now, with Jack Smith replacing the disqualified James Pearson. Gate 2 in blue is Henry Atkins. Gate 3 in white, Chris Harris. And off the outside in red, my man to watch, Sam Masters.
Oh, bang goes my rider to watch in the opening race. But yeah, should be a good battle between the 2 riders then off the outside in this one. But start marshal now. Walks away, the riders look towards the tapes rise. It's a great start from Jack Smith, although the 2 older men of the team, Sam Masters and Chris Harris, get to the first corner first. Now going down the back straight is Chris Harris, showing his track knowledge of the Oxford circuit as he leads going into lap 2 with Sam Masters all over his tail. Henry Atkins struggling a little bit at the back. Jack Smith looking pretty comfortable in the 3rd place there. Sam Masters is starting to go a little bit wide now, and I believe Jack Smith has retired.
Yeah, he was slowing down then, but he looks like he's got it going again.
Maybe Jack Smith forgot to turn the fuel on, but Chris Harris is showing his Oxford track knowledge as he goes round bends 3 and 4 for, I believe it's the 3rd time this race. Leading this one now pretty comfortably. It's not very often at this level Sam Masters is getting beat around this circuit.
Jack Smith's now on the centre green.
Chris Harris leading this race by example. It's a win for Chris Harris and Sam Masters 2nd.
Jack Smith had done all the hard work then as well to get himself into 3rd place ahead of Henry Atkins. No idea what was wrong there, but they're going to have to turn that around quickly because he's out again in the next race.
He's had a bit of a hard time as Jack Smith. He burnt an engine, or he either burnt an engine or a clutch at Berwick on Saturday as well. Expensive time for the lad.
So heat number 1, it was a win for the rider in white, Chris Harris. 2nd in red, Sam Masters, and 3rd, crucially in blue, Henry Atkins. Fairly even break actually, that.
What?
Sam just got a little bit of lift there down the back straight, and Bomber put him right by the fence. Nothing there at this early stage, and that was all Bomber needed to clear off.
Yeah, 100%. Bomber obviously using his track knowledge from riding for the Spires here in the Premiership as well.
Did Jack Smith
He had
possibly knock a chain off there? Because he seemed to lock up on turn 2 and then he was looking at his bike straight away.
there is that possibility.
And another interesting note for this, if we do cover Monday's meeting between the Spires and Leicester, it'll be roles reversed for the two out front, with Bomber riding for the home team and Sam Masters riding for the visitors.
British Speedway in it.
Obviously a little bit of extra time being allowed by the referee tonight for Jack Smith having 2 rides in succession.
Yeah, 100%. Chris Durno, tonight's referee. I'm sure my dad will be able to tell me a little bit more, but always seems to be a decent referee from stories that I've been told over the years.
Seems a decent crowding as well, considering there was concerns for the weather.
Oxford do always get decent crowds, to be fair. They're a very well supported team, and fair play to them.
And they've been back for this is their 3rd season since opening the track again now. Me and you were both critical, even up last season as well. The track wasn't quite fantastic, it was still bedding in, but this year there seems to have been a real turnaround with the track, and it's offered some great racing. So it's took a couple of seasons to bed in properly, but it is offering some decent racing now.
It has, I think we've watched about half a dozen meetings so far this year from here, and they've all been pretty decent.
So
I've been there twice.
Yeah. The lineup for heat number 2, going off the inside gate in red, is Ashton Bowden. Gate 2 in white for the Tigers is Edinburgh rider Connor Coles. Gate 3 in blue is Luke Killeen, and out for his 2nd ride of the night in yellow off the outside is Jack Smith.
Yeah, so very, very interesting looking lineup. Obviously, Jack Smith's been a regular guest for my team. Well, obviously Nathan Ablett's been out injured, so it's going to be interesting to see how he gets on in this one. As the start marshal walks away, and the tapes has risen, and Connor Coles has made an absolutely blinding start there. Great start from the young Brit. Now Ashton Bowden looking to come up the inside, and Luke Killeen round the outside. Bowden not quite, and Bowden's come off, and his Jack Smith laid the bike down superbly there, and the race has been stopped. Hopefully both the boys are okay.
It looked like Jack Smith took a little bit of evasive action there. Ashton Bowden just went in a little bit too hot and spun around. Hopefully Jack Smith's alright. 2nd awkward fall in a few days for Jack.
My dad has commented in our little chat, Chris Durmo very keen with the start, so expect a few reruns.
Well, if everything's going to plan, it should be the automated starts.
If the tracks have got them working.
I know they were in use on Monday at Birmingham.
Where was it? I was watching a meeting. I believe it was Workington when they had the meeting on BSN the other week, and you could quite clearly see that their tapes weren't automated. I'd be very surprised if ours are at Scotty, to be honest.
Brilliant gate from Connor Coles there, but just left a gap up the inside for Ashton Bowden, and him trying to clamp down Ashton Bowden gave Luke Killeen all the room he needed round the outside. Oh, Jack Smith actually went down unrelated. He's just slipped off. I don't think that is evasive action. That could be a 2-rider exclusion there. Ashton's already on the floor and Jack's nowhere near him when Jack lays it down. I think he just slid off.
It's going to be interesting to see what the referee does here.
That could be an exclusion for red and an exclusion for yellow there.
That's something I've seen quite a lot of this year, to be fair. There's been quite a few times where they've had two rider races.
Here's Connor Coles, as we've just mentioned, rides for Edinburgh this season. I think it's a very smart move for him to have his individual Kevlars on tonight rather than his Edinburgh ones, with a Glasgow race jacket over the top.
Ah, the good old days of race jackets. Yeah, Ashton Bowden there. What on earth is that on his head? Absolutely awful haircut there from Ashton Bowden. My dad would like to say you've got a good point regarding the automated starts there.
I think this. Ooh, there's no Jack Smith. I don't know if he's been disqualified or not. It looks like this could be a two-rider race. No, Jack Smith's in.
Jack Smith's in.
I think he's got away with one there. For me, he went down on his own. That was unrelated to Ashton coming off. I think he's got a little bit lucky there, to be honest.
But the ref's just trying to give Jack Smith what he wants. He just wants a chance.
Still got 4 people watching.
Big crowd. Big crowd in tonight.
Obviously, these sort of things aren't everybody's cup of tea, but it's always appreciated when people do join in.
So Heat 2 then, Start Marshall walks away. Once again, the riders look at the magnets. Tapes have risen and Connor Coles have made an absolute beauty of a gate there once again. Luke Colleen coming in second. Jack Smith tailing off a bit in third place. Luke Colleen now trying to come up the inside of Connor Coles, and has he done him? He's cut his neck and neck, but he's done him as he just entered the second lap. Now, what can Connor Coles do? Connor Coles isn't going to be happy with just the second place. Luke Colleen now showing his track knowledge of the Oxford circuit, having been an Oxford Charger for the past 2 seasons. And Luke Colleen now showing the way he's building up quite a lead. Jack Smith disappointing in third place here. But what can we say about young Luke Colleen? He's getting better and better every ride that he gets around Oxford Speedway. And he's building up his lead actually, as we've got 1 lap left to go. And barring any mechanical failures, Luke Colleen's got this one in the bag in what has been a really, really impressive ride from the young Australian lad. So coming around the final bends then, and it's going to be a win for Luke Colleen.
And he looks happy with that.
Understandable.
And that was the best result Oxford could have hoped for in that one, with obviously only having 1 rider. Luke Colleen fancied that. Connor Coles made a really good gate actually, but just seemed really tentative after the first couple of bends. And Jack Smith a fair way back in the end as well.
I reckon Jack's still feeling the effects of the weekend just gone.
Possibly, yeah. So the result of heat number 2 was a win for the rider in blue, Luke Colleen. Second in white, Connor Coles, and third in yellow, Jack Smith keeps the points on the night level at 6 apiece. The aggregate score 45 to the Oxford Cheetahs, 57 to the Glasgow Tigers.
I'll start then, Mush.
Heat number 3 sees your rider to watch Jordan Jenkins coming out.
Yes. Yeah, you know, you've got a bit of a vested interest in this, obviously, with Flinty being in a Brummie this year.
Yeah, and if he's on it like he was on Monday night, you know, beating Dan Bewley in his second race in heat number 4 on Monday, that'll do his confidence the world of good. Starts from the inside gate here though. So the line
inside gate's not.
Line up for heat number 3. Riding off the inside gate in white is Leon Flint. Gate 2 in blue is Jordan Jenkins. Gate 3 in yellow, Paul Stark. And off the outside in red is Cameron Heaps. Paul Stark asking for the green light to be shone, and the referee obliges.
All start to Glasgow really has been one of the big surprise signings of the off season this season, hasn't it?
And he's kind of done his job at the moment as well. I was sceptical of that because I saw him racing for Birmingham last year, and it's fair to say he wasn't fantastic. But he's gone up there on a bargain average if he can find his form.
100%. Start Marshall is about to walk away then from the tapes. Cristiano lets them up. It's a great start there from the inside gate with Leon Flint and his teammate Paul Stark coming round the outside to join him on a 5-1. Now what can the Cheetahs do as Jordan Jenkins that tries to come up the inside there of Paul Stark? Can he do it? Not quite. It's the Tigers leading in on a 5-1 as they come into the second lap. Jenkins now trying to blast himself round the outside, not of one Tiger but of both of them. He manages to get around Stark, struggling to get around Leon Flint at the moment, but the outside line seems to be working now. Flint goes wide. Can Jenkins cut up the inside? It's ever so close. And Jenkins has done him up the inside there, so it's Jenkins that has the lead. Now, what can Flint do? Can Flint repay the favour? As the rider in red, Cameron Heaps, has got past Paul Stark there to get into third place, and Paul Stark now is putting Leon Flint under some pressure as they go into the, what I believe is the last lap, and Cameron Heaps got a little bit wide, drifted away from Leon, but this is a massive confidence building right there for Jordan Jenkins, who takes the win.
Track looked really choppy then. Leon and Starkey, when they were out front, were both really tentative. Leon got out of shape a few times on 3 and 4. Brilliant ride from JJ to get around the outside of him, and that'll do his confidence the world of good.
Yeah, JJ needed that. You can see how much it means to him as well.
And that's the
He
problem when you
ecstatic.
pack a track in to take rain. It can just become a little bit patchy if the rain doesn't come. The result of heat number 3 was a win for the rider in blue. Brilliant ride by Jordan Jenkins. Second in white, Leon Flint. And third, crucially in red, Cameron Heaps. Puts the Cheetahs 2 points ahead on the night and claws back a couple of points on aggregate as well.
I believe the aggregate score now 49-59.
Brilliant start from Leon off the inside. Dropped the clutch perfectly, and Starkey was there with him initially. JJ's at the back at that point.
But this was a cracking move here up the inside though to get past Paul Stark, I believe it was.
Starkey and Leon were almost tripping each other up. They were both trying to ride the same line.
This is a move. He tried to get around the outside here of both Tigers. Didn't quite work there this one, but obviously JJ obviously been at Oxford a couple of years now. Used his knowledge and was able to get in front of Leon about here.
I think Leon lifted at the crucial point there, which killed a little bit of his momentum and just gave JJ that little bit of room he needed to edge away.
Yeah, 100%. Gate number 4 comes up.
The lineup for this one, going off the inside gate in yellow, is Jack Smith for his third ride of the night. Yeah. Gate number 2 in blue, winner of heat number 2, Luke Killeen. Gate 3 in white is Steve Worrell, and off the outside in red, Scotty Nichols.
Yeah, you've got to expect Scott's got to go out there and win this one, really. But hopefully, Steve been he put a impressive performance in for Birmingham on Monday. Can he bring that form to Oxford tonight?
And he was the standout rider for Birmingham when they faced Oxford on a very damp night at the start of the season. But conditions, the track would have been packed in for that one as well, so the conditions wouldn't have been too much different to this. And he was on it that night.
It was just a tad damper.
Yeah, it was just a little bit. There was just a few more puddles.
Jack Smith starting ever so close to gate 2. So, riders now looking like they're about in order. As Start Marshall now walks away then for the 4th time this evening. Tapes have risen. It's a pretty even start, and great start there from Steve Worrell, who leads going into the back straight. What can Nichols do now? Jack Smith's tailed off at the back, which is quite unfortunate for him now. Nichols, he's been at Oxford since they've reopened, is ever so close to Steve Worrell, but Worrell just holding the right lines at the moment as they're going to the back straight for the 2nd time. Nichols looking to use the inside line, get a bit of speed from the inside. I don't think that inside line's quite working just at this point as Worrell goes and blasts it out in the dirt. But Nichols isn't going to give up. He's looking at every line possible. But yeah, Worrell still leads then. Nichols still in second, but not for a lack of effort. Luke Killeen there in the third place, but Worrell looking really stylish out in front, using that dirt. He's built up a bit more of a lead now over Nichols, barring any mechanical failures. It's going to be a win for Stevie Worrell.
Interestingly as well, the first 4 races, the 2 Oxford big hitters who are nigh on untouchable around this track have both been beaten by their opposite number for the Tigers.
Yeah, 100%. Is this going to be something that Peter Stroke has a good word with them about, do you reckon?
Possibly, yeah. The result of heat number 4 is a win for the rider in white, Steve Worrell. Second in red, Scott Nichols. And third in blue, Luke Killeen. Again, points divided. And Oxford retain their slender 2-point lead on the night.
Makes the aggregate score 52-62.
Brilliant gate from Steve there, and Scott was just trying to go wide and find that speed, but the line seems to be mid-track at the moment. It's not quite as far out as Scott went just yet.
Yeah, that outside line though, it is developing throughout the meeting as we go along. It does look like, if they leave it alone, it will produce some really good racing.
The concern for Glasgow will be Jack Smith just seems to be struggling a little bit tonight. He's not quite getting off the starts, and when he does, he's just not got the speed.
You say they'll be concerned, but he's already taken his minimum required 3 rides.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
You reckon they'll just sack him off now till the end of the night and just put Coles in?
Potentially. Tractor and Water Bowser coming round.
I love that Water Bowser.
Wayne Hutt driving the Water Bowser, who made his National Development League debut the other day at the age of 40.
Youth. We've got to develop the youth.
We will just chuck up the stats in a minute. I'm just going to update the points from each gate.
Yeah, behind the scenes, we do have a scorecard which I've been actively typing in after every race, of course. So that will be going out on your screens soon, I would imagine, as soon as Dylan's done some number adding. Don't forget though, guys, to give us a subscribe on the Shoot Some Shale channel, the channel that you're listening to us on now, and don't forget to give us a like on Facebook at D&D Media.
The scorecard is now up on the screen, or it should be in a moment.
I believe something's wanting to come up. I don't know about you guys, but we've just got a black screen on the YouTube channel at the moment.
It'll be on in a second. It's just taking its time to do its thing.
Because we love technology. No other meetings either tonight to talk about.
Scorecard's now on the screen.
So, scorecard on the screen.
Do you want to just give us a quick run through of the scores to fill 2 minutes?
So, currently, the Oxford Cheetahs currently on 13 points this evening. Sam Mustard has scored 2. Emily Atkins, 1 and a bonus. Cameron Heaps, 1. Jordan Jenkins, 3. Scott Nichols 2. Ashton Bowden fell in his first ride and excluded. And Luke Colleen 4 and a bonus. For the Glasgow Tigers, who have somehow at the moment scored 11 points on the night. Chris Harris 3. James Pearson excluded under 2 minutes in heat number 1. Leon Flint 2. Paul Stark 0. Steve Worrell 3. Connor Coles 2. Jack Smith 1 and a bonus.
And the gate stats are now up as well.
Look at that. We look after our audience. Our audience of currently 2 people.
The good thing about this though is people can go back and watch it at their leisure.
Yeah, 100%.
So the points so far from the gates: Gate 1 has scored 2 points, Gate 2 has scored 7 points, Gate 3 has scored 9 points, including 3 wins, and Gate 4 has scored 6 points. So looking at those stats, Gates 2 and 4 are the place to be at the moment.
At the moment it is. Gate 1's been reasonably unlucky. Obviously heat number 1, Jack Smith was off Gate 1 and he retired. Got a fell exclusion from Ashton in heat number 2. Got a last place from Jack in heat number 4. We've got a second place off from Flinty in 3. So, but yeah, Gate 1 at the moment not the place to be.
We're now looking at the stream as the riders are preparing to come out for heat number 5.
Just a little one, just while we're waiting for riders to come up to tapes. A shout out to the guys that we work with Scunthorpe Speedway, Birmingham Speedway Supporters Club, Jake Allen Racing, Simon Lambert Racing, Leo Duckmore Racing, Ryan Ingram Racing, and I believe that's about... Oh, and Kent Kings. And I believe that's everyone we're working with this year.
Who wants an easy speedway season, eh?
Oh, it's Bush.
2 unbeaten riders going in this one. Jordan Jenkins goes off Gate 3 and Chris Harris off the outside. Full lineup of heat number 5 going off the inside gate in red, Cameron Heaps. James Pearson comes out for his first ride of the night after being disqualified from heat 1 under 2 minutes off Gate 2 in yellow. Jordan Jenkins winner first time out off Gate 3 in blue, and Chris Harris also winner first time out off Gate 4 in white.
Yeah, heat number 5 got this race completed and we will be a third of the way through tonight's coverage.
Quick mathematics.
Quick maths. So if someone said to me, I'll give you 50p every time you fail your maths exam, I'd have £3.80 now. So then, the start marshal walks away for heat number 5. Heaps held a little bit there, but a decent start there from the rider in red, Cameron Heaps actually, and Jenkins looking to come up the inside of the Tigers, but Chris Harris, like a knife through hot butter, splits the Cheetahs duo there, and he's gone off into a bit of a lead. But Cameron Heaps now performing the ride arguably of his season to come round the outside of Harris. Harris blocks a move perfectly though. Now can Cameron Heaps do anything? As James Pearson has just come up the inside there of Jordan Jenkins to get himself into the 3rd place. So it's the Tigers at the minute on a 4-2 heat advantage, which is going to extend their 10-point aggregate lead. But Chris Harris, you can tell he rides this track every single week. He's just a joy to watch around here. I know we joke about him ruining British Speedway, but he's a joy to watch around the Oxford circuit. We've got 1 lap left to go. Chris Harris still has the lead. Cameron Heaps arguably putting in a very, very good ride here in 2nd place. Jenkins now back up the inside there of James Pearson in 3rd place. So it's now 3-all as Chris Harris wins that, and Jenkins just about gets the 3rd place.
It looked like Jenkins and Heaps almost tripped each other up in on the 2nd lap there. They were both... Heaps went a bit wide and tried to chop back, and Jenkins was going wide at the same time. And Heaps almost cut across Jenkins' path, and it created a gap for Pearson to come through the inside.
Chris Harris now, just taking the applause of his home fans, kind of.
And the result of heat number 5, it was a win for the rider in white, Chris Harris. Second in red, Cameron Heaps, and third in blue, after working really hard for it, Jordan Jenkins. And that's crucial because it keeps the Cheetahs 2 points ahead on the night and the aggregate score at 10 points in Oxford's favour.
Yes, it does. 55 to 65, I do believe the aggregate score is.
And off bend 2 on the first lap, Oxford actually emerged on a 5-1, and Bomber just comes straight through the middle like a hot knife through butter.
Bomber's just Bomber though, and he loves doing those sort of moves. And as I said, you know, we do like joking about him ruining British Speedway, but day he hangs the Kevlars up, it's going to be a sad day for British Speedway. While we're watching an Oxford meeting, we may as well give it a cheeky plug. On the Sport website, coming out the 17th of August, I believe, the day of the British Grand Prix, Scott Nicholls' autobiography is available to pre-order.
And heat number 6 now at the tapes, going off the inside gate in white, winner first time out, Steve Worrell. Gate 2 in red is the Oxford number 1 Sam Masters, finished behind Bomber in his first race. Connor Coles, who initially made a really good gate off in heat number 2 before being passed by Luke Killeen, goes off the outside in blue is Henry Atkins.
Yes, it is.
And this is strange for me, seeing Steve Worrell and Sam Masters in a race in opposite colours, having been at Wolves for the last couple of years. They were the number 1 and 2 for Wolves and banged in a fair few maximums actually. So it's strange seeing them as opposition.
I'm sure I saw a stat somewhere last year online that was the best 1 and 2 pairing in the Premiership last year. But the tapes has risen on heat number 6, and Sam Masters, wow, what a start from that young man. Steve Wall was pushing him all the way, but the big battle's now at the back, as it is Connor Coles at the moment is leading Henry Atkins here. But Atkins up the inside of Connor Coles now. That could have been nasty, but fair play to them both for staying on the bike. So it's now the Cheetahs quickly on a 4-2. Masters building up a bit of a lead now over Stevie Worrell, and Henry Atkins starting to build up a lead over Connor Coles at the back. It's pretty spread out, this one, at the minute, so I would very much imagine, barring any mechanical failures, it is going to remain this way. But Sam Masters is nigh on unbeatable around here, especially at championship level, showing why he is back with the Monarch Oxford Cheetahs in 2024, leading this race by example. Stevie Wall winner last time out in second, so it's just like times of old at Wolves, Dill.
Well, yeah. And yeah, Sam won't have been happy losing to Bomber in that first one, so he went back in. It looked like he'd made some changes to get out of the gate there, because he absolutely nailed that start.
That was a start I reckon Thomas Jorgensen would have been proud of.
I'll be interested to see that start again. Initially, I thought Steve Worrell may have had a nibble. So the result of heat number 6, it was a win for the rider in red, Sam Masters. Second in white, Steve Worrell, and third in blue, Henry Atkins. Opens up the Oxford advantage by another couple of points to 20 points to 16 on the night and 59-67 on aggregate.
Just seeing a replay of the start.
Yeah, we did have a nibble.
Sam Masters, though, what a gate. Someone's put a rocket in that exhaust.
Steve Worrell double clutched that, didn't he? And that was probably what made Sam sort of get over him a little bit easier than he may have done initially if he hadn't have had that nibble.
Yeah, 100%. It's almost like who was it on one? I want to say Victor Lampard. I could be wrong.
Yeah, heat number 3, Victor Lampard had a little nibble and got away with it.
coming up to heat number 7. Here comes Paul Stark and Ashton Bowden, off at the different ends of their speedway career, some may say.
Starkey doesn't like the look of that gate 4. Or is it because he's got a BSN cameraman in front of him?
Maybe both.
Scotty Nichols isn't going to take too kindly to being beaten in his first ride either. So the result of the lineup for heat number 7 even, lining up off the inside gate in red, Scott Nichols, gate 2 in white, Leon Flint, gate 3 in blue, Ashton Bowden, and off the outside in yellow, Paul Stark.
Yeah, big race this actually for Oxford. They need to capitalise on. No disrespect to Leon and Paul, but this is, one of the weaker 3 and 4 pairings in the league, and Scotty Nichols nigh on untouchable here. Obviously, he got beat last time out, but Oxford really needs to take advantage here.
The one thing that is in Glasgow's favour here is that they are on the marginally better gates of 2 and 4.
Yeah, 100%. We're just waiting for Scott Nichols to come up to the inside now. Referee at the start marshal raises his arms. The riders look at the magnets, the tapes rise, and Scott Nichols has made a great start there off the inside gate, and Ashton Bowden looking to go around the outside there of Paul Stark, and it's not quite worked out, so it's currently another 3-0, but Bowden going really wide there, and so does Scotty Nichols. And Scotty makes the outside work, Ashton doesn't, so it's currently a 3-all still as it stands. The Tigers now almost team riding Ashton out of this one. But Scotty Nichols, he's away gone. It's going to take something really, really drastic for Scott to lose this one. Nearly bouncing himself off the fence there, but propelling himself into an even bigger lead over the Tigers here. Tigers sitting as pretty though in second and third, with Flinty in second and Starkey in third. Ashton Bowden, he keeps going wide, and initially on the bends it looks like he's getting ever closer to the Tigers pairing, but it's just not working out for Ashton in this one at the moment as they come round then turns 3 and 4. Scotty Nichols comes round to take the checkered flag.
Yeah, Scotty doing similar to what Sam did there. Won't have taken too kindly to being beaten in his first one, so went back in, made changes and came out with a purpose there, similar to what Sam did in the last one. Leon and Starkey just looking out for each other and team riding it home. But yeah, heat number 7, the result, it was a win for the rider in red, Scott Nichols, second in white, Leon Flint, and third in yellow, Paul Stark.
3-2-1. XC progressive scores on the day, 23-19.
And that was a beautiful start. Both the Oxford riders actually made the initial jump. Ashton almost shut off going into that turn there, into the third turn for the first time.
Yeah, 100% agreed there, sir.
I think Starkey gave Leon a little bit of a wake up call, entering bend 1 for the second lap, diving up the inside, and then Leon just went wide. Starkey stayed low, and they just team rode around for the second and third. That's all that they need to do, having the 8-point now aggregate lead still. They'll take shared races all night long.
Yeah, 100%. Massive race heat number 9 coming up shortly.
We haven't even had heat number 8 yet.
No, we haven't. I'm looking at my programme wrong.
And we've got a bit of track grading, so I'm just going to take a quick minute and leave you to run through the individual scores off of your programme.
So, currently then, after 7 heats in the Cab Direct Championship Knockout Cup, the Oxford Cheetahs 23 points. Sam Masters on 5 points, Henry Atkins 2+1, Cameron Heaps 3, Jordan Jenkins 4+1, Scott Nichols 5, Ashton Bowden 0, Luke Killeen 4+1. The Glasgow Tigers currently on 19 points, Chris Harris 6 points unbeaten, James Pearson 0, Leon Flint 4, Paul Stark 1 and a bonus, Stevie Wall 5 points, Connor Coles 2, Jack Smith 1, and a bonus. A big shout out to all 2 people we've got watching us now. So don't be afraid to join in the chat. Give us your messages, give us your shout outs, give us your thoughts. Yeah. Over on the BSN at the moment, we've got a bit of an interview with Cameron Brown, the manager of the Glasgow Tigers. I don't know if he's watching tonight, but I want to give a shout out to Alan McNally, who we put up with most evenings. And our Messiah, Mr. Hodges, sounds like he's back.
Might be, might not be. Cammy Brown being interviewed at the moment. So I didn't miss a lot.
No.
And I'll just quickly update the gate stats.
No dramas. Yeah, so currently the Cheetahs holding a 4-point lead on the night, and they hold an 8-point. Sorry, the Tigers hold an 8-point aggregate lead at the moment. As heat number 8 comes up shortly.
Interesting note on the stats for the gates. After 4 heats, Gate 3 had scored 9 points. After 7 heats, Gate 3 has only scored 10. It only scored 1 point in that block of races.
Now, obviously, we, like you guys, we're not listening to the BSN coverage, but from what we've just been told in a group chat, well, a question that's been asked in a group chat regarding Cammy Brown's interview there. Is this inside scoop news that Jack Smith has been signed on a 28-day contract?
It wouldn't surprise me, especially if Ace Piper's out for a few weeks.
Ace is riding on Friday.
Oh.
According to the BSF, of course, you know, the most reliable source of all speedway information worldwide.
I mean, it sounded like a very bad crash he had, so I'd be very surprised if he's riding on Friday, but anything's possible.
Just going by what the BSF is saying, you know, apparently he's declared himself fit to ride.
We're looking at James Pearson on the screen. Not the best start to his night, being disqualified in his first ride. James Pearson was actually in the pits with Leon Flint on Monday at Birmingham.
Yes, he was.
And he's got James Shanes on the spanners for him tonight.
And if you're ever in a pub with him, he's an absolute delight.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic when we met up with him in Scunny after that thunderstormed off meeting last season.
Talking about riders and ex-riders in the pits, that is Nathan Stallman helping out Henry Atkins tonight. So, good to see Nathan
Stallman's a bit of a renter mechanic this year. Who was he spannering for on Monday? Ben Cook, I think it was.
I think it might have been, actually.
Interesting to see.
Certainly was one of the...
It was definitely a poor rider. Interesting to see Jack Smith retaining his place in this one. I know Heat 8 in the Premiership is protected, but I don't think it is in the Championship, is it?
I'm pretty sure it isn't.
So, Glasgow management obviously keeping the faith with Jack.
Well, if obviously what Callum said in our group chat that it's in potential inside scoop of him securing a 28-day deal with them, then he's going to need the rights.
And then suddenly he's gone from having no team spot to a 28-day contract with Scunthorpe and Sheffield's National League team and a potential 28-day contract with Glasgow.
Not to mention the 87 billion guest bookings he's had for Scunny in the Championship as well. That rising star in the Premiership's coming soon. I feel it. He's getting the chance he so thoroughly deserves.
Again, like we spoke about earlier, though, young British lad. We've seen a lot of young British riders retire over the past 2 or 3 seasons. So if this is the opportunity to keep another one on track, then that's all positive. Hit number 8, the lineup going off the inside gate in blue for the Oxford Cheetahs is Luke Killeen. Gate 2 in yellow, Jack Smith. Gate 3 in red, Henry Atkins. And off the outside in white, James Pearson.
Luke Colleen's got to be the favourite for this one. I think he's performed really well this evening, to be fair, so far. Jimmy P, as Glasgow like to call him, though, is going to need to have a big ride here, and should be a race he should be scoring some points in. Jack Marshall then walks away for heat number 8, the halfway point of this meeting, and it's a decent start there from Luke Killeen as expected, and Henry Atkins looking like he's about to join him for a 5-1, but James Pearson looking to come up the inside of the Oxford boys, at the Oxford boys holding the right lines there, and it is the Oxford boys then on a 5-1 with Henry Atkins leading the way, Luke Killeen in second, and James Pearson putting the pressure on the Cheetahs boys in third, with Jack Smith disappointingly for Jack at the back. Although the Oxford boys now, barring any mistakes, are going to get a 5-1 because they're extending their lead over the Glasgow Tigers in this one, with Henry Atkins producing arguably his ride of the night so far. Struggled a little bit this season in the main body of the Oxford team, but not having the National Development League to fall back on. Whereas obviously Luke Killeen, he's got the National League laps under his belt this year as well, so it's a big race this for the Oxford guys, and this will do Henry Atkins' confidence a world of good. I was going to carry on talking throughout the race, but then I saw the checkered flag.
Massive result for Oxford that as well, and that puts them 8 points up on the night, and crucially puts them just 4 points behind for the aggregate. And with this being a knockout cup fixture 2-leg tie, tactical substitutes are not allowed.
No, they are not.
Henry with his trademark boxing celebration there. So the result of heat number 8, it was a win for the rider in red, Henry Atkins. Second, his teammate in blue, Luke Killeen. And third in white, James Pearson. Jack Smith at the back, but did look more competitive that time. Progressive scores after 8 heats on the night. It's 28 to the Cheetahs, 20 to the Tigers, and on aggregate it's 67 to the Cheetahs, 71 to the Tigers.
I'm glad you said that because our race card adds up to that as well.
Jack Smith actually got the best drop there, and he just lifted. And James Pearson was there early on, but a smart ride by Luke Killeen to pin him to the inside and kill his momentum. Thought it was going to end in carnage there, though, in bend 3.
I really have put a bit of a commentator's curse tonight on James Pearson, and
And heat number 9 is already at the tapes. The lineup for this one, going off the inside gate in blue, Jordan Jenkins, full paid 5 from his 2 rides. Steve Worrell off gate number 2 in white with 5 points. Cameron Heaps, gate 3 in red on 3 points. And Connor Coles off the outside in yellow on 2 points.
yeah, on paper this should be a decent race for Stevie Worrell. But obviously Cameron Heaps has looked really impressive tonight. So has JJ, to be fair. Connor Coles have been there or thereabouts, so we could be in for a cracking race in heat number 9.
And the majority of these boys racing elsewhere tomorrow night as well in the Premiership. JJ obviously racing for Ipswich at Leicester, I think it is.
Yeah, I believe they're up at Almont Park.
Steve Worrell rides for Birmingham at Kings Lynn.
Packed Premiership programme tomorrow. But that's tomorrow. We're on Heat 9 and it's a Wednesday night now. The tapes have risen. It's a great start from Steve Worrell, but Cameron Heaps is there as well. But it's Worrell then that has the lead going down the back straight, with the two Cheetahs sitting in second and third, and Glasgow will take these kind of results all day long. Connor Cole struggling a little bit towards the rear of the field there, but Steve Worrell out front, and he's been put under pressure from Cameron Heaps here. Cameron Heaps is probably having the best meeting of his season so far tonight here at Oxford, as he tries to go out in the dirt there. He's not gained any ground on Steve Worrell at the moment, so Worrell's got a bit of a handy lead now over the two Oxford boys there who were sitting in second and third, and it looks like it's going to be yet another 3-3. We like 3-3s here at Oxford tonight, but yeah, one lap left to go then. Worrell, the man from Cleethorpes, just up the road from me, he's probably going to pass my house on the way home. He's out in front, and he's basically, barring any mechanical failures as he comes round the bends for the last two times, he's going to get another 3 points, and he celebrated with a really good wheelie.
And that'll just steady the ship a little bit for Glasgow as well. There, they were under the cosh a little bit after that 5-1 in Heat 8 win there for Stevie. Connor Coles was at the back, but as we've said earlier, 3 alls would do him do him fine with the aggregate point. Taz got a little bit with the overall aggregate score. Taz got a little bit closer than I think the Glasgow Tigers would have liked on aggregate now. In heat number 9, the result, it was a win in white for Steve Worrell. Second in red, Cameron Heaps, and third in blue, Jordan Jenkins. And that was all done from the start, really, although Cameron Heaps was there with him as well.
Cameron Heaps made a really good start as well, to be fair, as well as Stevie Worrell, but you know, when you've got really good engines under your light, Stevie Worrell will definitely have, then you know, he's away and gone.
And it's easy to forget as well, Steve Worrell still the current British number 2, obviously Grand Prix Cardiff wildcard last season. So he's more than capable of beating anybody, and you know, in this league in particular, he's more than capable of going through cards and stuff. And has dropped a point tonight so far to Sam Masters, but when he does get fresh air, he's very quick out in front.
He is, and you know, with your Birmingham hat on, Dill, you know, is this sort of not necessarily giving you more faith, but is this sort of an encouraging performance from a Birmingham perspective as well?
Yeah, definitely. He started the season really well here. Actually, when he was here at the start of the season with the Brummies, and he's not quite hit those heights up until sort of last week. He scored well at Leicester with the watch along we did there, and he scored okay on Monday after a slow start as well. So it's definitely coming good. The lineup for heat number 10 then, going off the inside gate in blue. Boyd Boy is winning heat number 8. Henry Atkins. Paul Stark goes off gate 2 in yellow. Sam Masters, impressive winner last time out as well, off gate number 3 in red, and Leon Flint off the outside in white.
Yeah, big race this. Arguably, you've got to say this favours Oxford a little bit, I would say.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. It's very much one liney at the moment, and that's obviously we've had that at Birmingham as well. When a track's packed in to take a lot of rain, it's that slick. There's just nothing apart from the one line.
Marshall Lane has walked away. The tapes have risen, and Sam Masters has made an absolute blinder of a start. Henry Atkins is there in the second position, and if things stay like this, it's going to be level on aggregate going into heat number 11. Now, what can the rider in white, Leon Flint, do? He's gone ever so wide there as they go into the second lap. He's putting pressure now on Henry Atkins, but can Henry keep his second position here? in heat number 11. Sam Masters is virtually away and gone. He's got as Leon goes ever so wide there. He's lucky to stay on the back there, if you ask me. But Henry Atkins has got two Tigers on his tail, and Flint is keeping the outside line there. He needs to sort of cut back a little bit, if you ask me. How wide does Leon Flint have to go? If he goes any wider, he's going to end up in the Premier Inn over the road. But Leon looking not going as wide as he was this time, but Sam Masters now just having a look out for Henry there and keeping the Cheetahs on a 5-1. Now, can Leon do anything here? Not quite, as that is a 5-1 to the Cheetahs, and it's now all square on aggregate.
And Leon there dropped the clutch first again and just lifted at the wrong time. Henry Atkins started off the meeting slowly, but that winning heat 8 obviously did him the world of good. Sam Masters kept checking around to see if he was there and actually slowed up over the line. I think Sam still got it, but he was just covering off any outside attacks from Leon. Henry again with his trademark boxing celebration. Sam Masters coming in to look at gate 1 where he might be in heat 13.
That is correct.
So the results of heat number 10, it was a win for the rider in red, Sam Masters. Second in blue, Henry Atkins, and third in white, Leon Flint. Makes the scores 36 to the Cheetahs, 24 to the Tigers on the night, and crucially ties the aggregate score up at 75 apiece.
That he does.
Everyone was writing Oxford off before this meeting because they've had, what many will consider a really slow start to the season, but they showed last season they were underdogs then and they were fantastic at home and fairly good away as well. The more meetings they get under their belt at home, I think they're going to find that dominance here again, and so it's showing so far against a decent Glasgow team.
Yeah, 100%. But I think as well, reserves win your meetings, and Luke Colleen's outscored the other three reserves so far as it is. In fact, he scored double than what the other three reserves have scored combined. So really, he could say he's a bit of a match winner for the Cheetahs so far.
And Sam Masters even there looking over his shoulder just to check where Henry is and keeping out of his way as well. Sam was on the outside, Henry was on the inside, Leon out in that dirt where the line is, but just couldn't make up the ground on Henry.
Yeah. No, good ride there from the Oxford boys. Oh. I do believe we are now 2/3 of the meeting through.
And we're on some track grading.
Some track grading, so in the interest of fairness, I'll leave Dill to read out the scorers for you.
So for the Oxford Cheetahs, Sam Masters is on 8 points from 3 rides. Henry Atkins has finished his programme rides with 7, paid 9. Cameron Heaps 5. Jordan Jenkins 5 and 2 bonus points. Scott Nichols 5. Ashton Bowden failed to score from 2 rides. And Luke Killeen 6, paid 8 from 3. For the Tigers, Chris Harris is on 6 from 2 unbeaten. James Pearson 1 from 2 rides after a disqualification in his first programmed ride. Leon Flint 3 rides, 5 points. Paul Stark on 1, paid 2. Steve Worrell is on 8 points. Connor Coles 2 points. And Jack Smith 1 and a bonus. Just sorting out the gate stats as it stands.
We're back. Did we miss anything?
Absolutely nothing, Squire. I'm just sorting out the gate stats.
What a man.
So the gate stats after 10 heats. Gate 1 has scored 13 points. Gate 2 has scored 16 points, Gate 3 has scored 18 points, and Gate 4 has scored 13 points. So the gates have actually switched now, and 1 and 3 seem to be performing just a shade better.
Yeah, 100%. All in all, so far as well, pretty decent meeting watching as a neutral.
Yeah, considering the track's been packed in to take some rain and stuff, and I think that has impacted on how it's being prepared. I think it's offering up a solid outside line. There's a little bit on the inside now that the track's turning over. But I do think as the meeting now goes into the last few heats, I think it'll move down towards the inside.
Yeah, 100%. You know, last few heats of the meeting coming up. Then obviously, if it does end up in a tie overall on aggregate after 15 heats, we will be getting a super heat.
And again, if anybody wants to watch the last 5 races, 5 races left in or wants to watch the replay of this meeting, it is available on BSN for the action with commentary from Ian Brennan and Adam Roynan.
Adam Roynan on tonight, yeah.
Currently, BSN has got Ride of the Month up for March/April. Although nothing's happening beyond that.
So we've just got one person watching now, and that's me.
But like we know, these aren't everybody's cup of tea. It's more for us to just enjoy doing something, and for me to learn something new.
Yeah, 100%. I think commentating, I think you're doing a really good job. I think what we've got at the moment, it's a system that works. And yeah, I think you would make a good commentator at any club if you was able to do such a thing.
Who's this fella?
Jason Howard there talking to someone from BSN. I don't quite know who that is.
And I think while this is happening, it might be a good chance for us to just take a minute to have a breather before we carry on.
Just catch our breath a minute, yeah. Evening, chaps. Hope you're both doing really well. And I hope we're providing you with some decent commentary for your Wednesday night listening. What a man. We would be knackered without Mr. Wheeler, wouldn't we? And yeah, really looking forward to welcoming Paul to Scunthorpe versus Redcar in May, I believe it is, the 31st of May. So end of the month is coming up to sunny Scunny, and yeah, be cool to see him.
And I've just realised you could not hear a word I just said because my mic source wasn't inputted onto the screen that we're currently on. Teething problems.
Doesn't help.
Teething problems.
Technology is great, isn't it?
It's certainly something. But yeah, just to touch on for the stream what we just said, Paul Wheeler being a legend and creating this spreadsheet that we're using tonight, and also in the process of creating us an individual spreadsheet for any individual watch-alongs. But it's like we were saying just now, you know, if we're sitting and watching these meetings, you know, we can give it a whirl and do our own commentary. It's fun for us, and if anybody gets enjoyment out of watching it or listening to two fellas with funny accents talking and doing commentary, then, you know, nothing gained, nothing lost.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, no, it's looking forward to doing our next one. Looking forward to our next meetings live we're going to. When's your next meeting, sir?
Oh, when's my next meeting that I'm going to? Scheduled to be a week from Monday, the 13th, when Birmingham host Kings Lynn.
Probably a good meeting, that, I reckon.
And yours is Friday, innit? When you travel down to Redcar to watch the Scorpions take on the Bears.
Yes, yeah. Third Friday running up at the Echo Arena.
Hopefully you don't have
I
to
think-
deal with the trains again like this past Sunday.
Oh, I hate trains. Obviously I'm going up to Warsaw next week, and I've cancelled my my train on the Thursday to go to Ipswich to get to my best friend, and then obviously we'll be going to Luton Airport on the Friday. I'm now having to go on the Wednesday nights. We've had to book another night in the Premier Inn, and it's been chaotic and expensive, but it'll be worth it, I hope.
And do you get a refund from the rail company for that?
Yeah, Trainline sorted me out a refund, and I'm still expecting a refund from LNER for delay repay and all that, so that'll pay for me my train ticket to Ipswich.
Battle of the British Legends coming up here in Heat 11, with Scott Nicholls going off gate number 2 and Chris Harris going off gate number 1, so they'll line up next to each other as well. 7
Even better.
British titles for Scotty. Is it 3 for Bomber?
I do believe it is.
So you've got 10 British titles lining up on the inside 2 gates here, with Chris Harris going off the inside gate in white, Scott Nicholls gate 2 in red, James Pearson gate 3 in yellow, and Ashton Bowden off the outside in blue. You definitely cursed James Pearson, making him your man to watch tonight.
Yeah, no, I agree. So James, if you watch this back for different commentary, I do sincerely apologise that I've put this much pressure on you, which has ultimately affected your performance this evening. So, soz pal. So, start Marshall then looking to bring the riders up to tapes for heat number 11. He walks away. The riders look at the respective magnets, away they go. Scott Nicholls has made the best start I think he's ever made. And Chris Harris looks to come up the inside, and Chris Harris now up the inside, he's got that lead. Now what can Nicholls do? Can Nicholls blast himself around the outside? He's trying to, now he tries to do the cutback. Up the inside of Chris Harris, and the neck and knickers are going to Ben's number 1 on lap 2. And I think Scott is just about done Bomber. Now what can Bomber do as he comes up the inside of Scotty now? Scotty just holds the right defensive lines there, and Scotty's away and going. James Pearson looking pretty comfortable there in third with Ashton Bowden. Scoreless again at the back. But Scott Nicholls, what a ride that was to get underneath Bomber there. And Bomber's trying every line now. Bomber's gone that wide. I think he's touched the fence, but he's got Scott Nicholls there. Bomber has the lead. This is sensational stuff from the two older guys in each team. Now Nicholls back up the inside of Harris. This is absolutely sensational racing, this. Now what can Harris do? Is he looking to go to the inside? Scotty just got that one.
What a race that was.
Wow.
a race befitting of two multiple time British champions, handshake between the two going down the back straight. A lot of respect between these two. Bitter rivals over
Oh,
the years, but
100%.
also massive respect for two of the best speedway riders Great Britain's ever created.
Probably the best two in league racing at the moment.
And the result of heat number 11, it was a win for the rider in red, Scott Nicholls. Second in white, his first defeat of the night to an opposition rider for Chris Harris, and crucially for the Tigers, James Pearson in third. I have to feel that that's probably Ashton Bowden's last race of the night.
Yeah.
I would expect, I think he's programmed in heat 14, but I'd expect Luke Killeen to come into that one for him.
Yeah, Luke Colleen's definitely a rider that's impressed me quite a lot tonight, actually.
And at this point, Bomber would have been thinking he was comfortable. Scotty comes up the inside, just shows him his back wheel and sends him a little bit into that no man's land. Bomber tries to cut back, but Scotty chops his nose off.
Yeah, 100%.
Then Bomber goes up to his favoured outside line, riding round the air fence. You'd think from this point Scotty's got it all wrapped up. Bomber goes balls to the wall around 3 and 4 on this lap and flies past Scott like he's standing still.
Yeah, that was a sensational move that from Chris Harris there. But then Nicholls, as you see, just coming off bend 2, he just whips himself up the inside there, and I think we should just put these two on track for the whole stream.
And we saw in the interval a ride of the month for March and April. I think we've already got May's ride of the month on the first day.
100%. That was sensational.
Hit number 12, riding off the inside gate in yellow for the Tigers, the guest this evening, Connor Coles. Cameron Heaps had a really good night by his standards tonight, been on the pace, putting a difficult start to the season behind him. Leon Flint goes off gate 3 in white, and the aforementioned Luke Killeen on pay date from reserve for Oxford at the moment, off gate number 4. And he's looked really quick tonight as well, isn't he, Killeen? He's making gates, he's got speed.
Yeah, 100%. Cameron Heaps has impressed me as well tonight, to be fair. This really could... I don't mean to sound harsh, but Leon Flint needs to pull his finger out here to keep Glasgow in the meeting on aggregate. Marshall's walked away. Tapes has ridden them for the 12th time today, and Cameron Heaps. Wow, what a gate from Cameron Heaps there. It's Flinty now in second. Can Flint do anything to get past Cameron Heaps as Luke Killeen goes really wide there, and he's got himself into third place. If the race stays like this, the Cheetahs will go in front on aggregate, but Flint's trying the inside run now, and he's got him. Great race for Leon Flint there to get in front of Cameron Heaps. Now, what can Cameron Heaps come round the outside again and do what Chris Harris did to Scott Nicholls? Yes, he can. What a ride. This Oxford meeting here tonight is cutting a lot better towards the end of the meeting. Now, Luke Killeen's putting pressure on Leon Flint now. Connor Coles trailing up the back. It's a 3-horse race. As the next commentator would have said, you could put a blanket over all 3 of these. This race certainly is not over in the final lap. And Cameron Heaps at the moment has the lead as they're going to the last 2 bends. What can Flinty do? Can Flinty come up the inside? No, and the Cheetahs go ahead on aggregate.
What a race that was. Very smart ride from Cameron Heaps there. He meant that, and yeah, very, very good track craft from Cameron Heaps there. Just ran Leon wide off bend 4 on the final lap. Nearly gave Luke Killeen a sniff up the inside, and for the first time on aggregate, the Oxford Cheetahs take the lead. And the result of Heat 12, it was a win for the rider in red. Brilliant ride for Cameron Heaps. Second in white, Leon Flint, and crucially again in third, reserves winning meetings, was the rider in blue, Luke Killeen. 43.29 now the score on the night, and 82 points to the Cheetahs, 80 to the Tigers on aggregate, with a very exciting Heat 13 coming up.
So we say, you said Heat 11
be a contender for Ride of the Month, but Heat 12, wow,
I think
another
for overall
contender.
race of the month, it was probably Heat 11, but for individual ride and individual team performance, you've got to say Cameron Heaps takes that already. That was a
Oh,
fantastic ride,
100%.
very smart ride there for Cameron Heaps.
Oh, 100%. Battle of the Big Guns next, or is Godfrey likes to say, a big Heat 13 coming up.
And Luke Killeen's actually ahead of Leon there off 2 on the inside, but Leon just gets that little bit of grip round the outside. Smart final turn from Cameron, sees Leon going wide, moves up to the inside of the track, and Leon can't cut back quite enough because Luke Killeen's on the inside of him.
100%.
What a race
Luke
this is
Killeen.
going to be.
Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it?
What
a fantastic
race.
lineup. Just waiting for Scotty to come out onto track.
Do you want to read out the lineup for this Heat 13? This is going to be an absolute blinder.
Oh. I'll give you a break then. So, Heat number 13 coming up. Off the inside gate in the red helmet colour, that is Samuel Masters, who has scored 8 points. His partner off gate 3 in blue is Scott Nichols, who has also scored 8 points. For the Tigers in the white helmet colour off gate 2, he has scored 8 points, that is Chris Harris. And off the outside gate in the yellow helmet, he has also scored 8 points, Stevie Worrell. I see a bit of a theme here.
This is what a Heat 13 should look like.
Yes, I agree.
All these riders have taken points off each other. All of these riders have had some fantastic races. Scotty and Bomber next to each other. Off gates 2 and 3 this time. They had a brilliant race a couple of heats ago. This could be a little bit exciting.
It could be. We're strapped in and we are ready for the ride. We hope you guys are at home as well. As the start marshal walks away then. Tapes has risen for the 13th time tonight, and it is Sam Masters that takes the lead with Bomber in the second position, and it's going to be a battle at the front as Bomber's looking to get past Sam Masters. Masters goes ever so wide there, and Harris gets up the inside of Masters. Wow, great ride there from Chris Harris. And now Nichols is looking to join the party. Steve Worrell trailing off at the back a little bit, but it is still Chris Harris at the moment that has the lead. Now Harris goes really wide there. Can Masters get up the inside of him? Not quite. So Harris still has the lead then as they go into the third lap of this race. Harris riding the right lines now, and barring any mechanical failures, I believe this could be Chris Harris's race. But yeah, one lap left to go then. Steve Worrell putting a bit of pressure now on Scotty Nichols actually, to bring the Tigers possibly into this a bit more. But as they come round the final 2 bends, it's Chris Harris that's going to take the big win there, and it's ever so close there for third. I think Scott just got that.
Yeah, Scott's just held on to that one. A little bit of acknowledgement between Sam and Bomber there. I think we're just looking at a replay of the finish of that race. Bomber wins it, Sam second, and yeah, Scott's clearly got third there, I think. Yeah, he's got it by about half a bike. Yeah, he's got it by about half a bike length in truth. Not quite the classic race we expected.
Always the case. You build something up to be the greatest thing ever, and then I wouldn't say it was a boring race, but it wasn't as we was building it up to be.
So the results of heat number 13, it was a win for the rider in white, Chris Harris, second in red, Sam Masters, and third in blue, Scott Nichols. That keeps the scores level at the same as they were after heat number 12, with the Cheetahs 2 points up on aggregate coming into heat number 14. As expected in blue. Yep, as expected, the reserve change in blue with Luke Killeen replacing Ashton Berrigan. You've got to favour, on paper here, you've got to favour Oxford in this race. Paul Stark's not had a great night, neither has Jack Smith. Jordan Jenkins has had a steady night, and Luke Killeen's been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, 100%.
So
Let you do the lineup.
heat number 14, riding off the inside gate in white, Paul Stark. Gate number 2 in blue is Luke Killeen. Gate 3 in yellow, Jack Smith. And off the outside in red is Jordan Jenkins. The combined score for the Tigers in this one is 2+2, with Jordan Jenkins for Oxford on paid 7 and Luke Killeen on paid 9. So it's clear favourite for the Oxford boys in this one, based off of tonight's performances.
Well, it's one of them. If the Oxford boys get a 5-1, they're through to the next round of the Knockout Cup. So from Cammy Brown, there is massive pressure on Paul Stark and Jack Smith to deliver here.
And Jack Smith did look a little bit more competitive last time out. Would it maybe have made more sense to put Connor Coles in this one?
Maybe.
Possibly. He's just been gating a bit better.
Start Marshall has walked away, the tapes has risen. What a start from Jack Smith and Paul Stark there. Wow, Paul Stark looking to the ride of his life. Luke Colino sitting there in second and Jack Smith's already relegated to the back. So looking like there's probably going to be a bit of carnage there. But Paul Stark's winning this one. He's pushed all the way by Luke Colleen, and Jordan Jenkins is looking pretty settled there in the third place. Jack Smith now struggling again at the back of the field. Probably the story of his night, to be fair. No disrespect to Jack intended. But it looks like Jenkins is about to come round the outside of Paul Stark. Can Paul Stark keep the Tigers in this contest? As Stark runs the outside line now. Jenkins coming up the inside. Stark still has the lead, only just. So it's going to be a big finish to this one. We've got one lap left to go. Can Jenkins make any impact on Paul Stark as Jenkins looks to come at the inside? Stark blasts around the outside. Stark still has the lead. Final 2 bends of this race coming up. Jenkins going around the outside. It's going to be a close finish, and it's Stark that has the lead, and the Tigers just about still in this contest.
And Paul Stark stepped up when he needed to then. Fantastic gate off gate 1. To get out in front. Jack Smith there initially with him, got slowed down by Luke Killeen enough for Jordan Jenkins to dive bomb up the inside of him, but Paul Stark keeping the Tigers in this one at least for another race. And you've got to expect that Bomber, Sam Masters and Scott Nichols are all nailed on for 15. It's just who's going to go with Bomber. So the results of heat number 14, it was a win for the rider in white, a crucial win as well, Paul Stark. Second in red, Jordan Jenkins, and third in blue, Luke Killeen. Makes the aggregate scores 88 points to the Cheetahs, 86 to the Tigers, with one more scheduled race to go. Anything a shared heat or better for Oxford and they advance. A 4-2 to the Tigers makes it level, and a 5-1 to the Tigers in 15 will put them through.
Yeah, massive pressure on the Tigers at the moment.
I'll just add up the gate stats whilst we have a little break.
No problem. A big heat number 13 coming up. Will the Cheetahs advance, or will the Tigers claw it back, or will we have a super heat? Who knows? So while we go into heat number 15, I will give you the scores on the doors for the Oxford Cheetahs. Sam Masters is on 10 points. Emmy Atkins 7 and 2. Cameron Heaps 8. Jordan Jenkins 7 and 2. Scott Nichols 9 and 1. Ashton Bowden failed to score. And Luke Colleen on 8, paid 11. For the Tigers then, Chris Harris on 11. James Pearson 2 and a bonus. Leon Flint 7, Paul Stark 4 and 1, Stevie Worrell on 8, Connor Coles 2, and Jack Smith 1 and a bonus.
Looking at the gate stats, gate 1 has provided 20 points, gate 2 26, 6, gate 3 23, and gate 4 has provided 16. So on those numbers, 1 and 3 looking like the favoured gates. And they always say, don't they, you never give up the inside gate, you know, if you've got a choice.
Yeah, 100%. It'll be interesting to see what riders go where. And yeah, this could well be a contender for race of the night.
I think you've got to expect Sam Masters and Scotty Nicholls for Oxford. Don't know what gates they'll be in. Although there could be an argument made for Cameron Heaps as well.
Yeah, 100%. But you've got to imagine it's going to be Masters and Nicholls.
Yeah, you'd be crazy not to put those two in. For Glasgow, I'd say Chris Harris is nailed on, and I'd probably say Steve Worrell will be the other one. I think it'll probably be a repeat of Heat 13.
You would expect so, wouldn't you? I'm just waiting for Jason Howard to leave the screen, and then we'll find out and give you the confirmed lineup for Heat 15 shortly.
There's Bomber getting ready, and he's in yellow.
He's going in yellow, so
just giving himself a little cycle. DJ on the centre green, giving everyone a rave. Sam Masters is in blue.
we know Masters and Harris are going in heat number 15. Who's joining them? That is the question.
And Bomber here could break Oxford Hearts, and then tomorrow night he's going and racing for their Premiership team. Scotty Nicholls
never
is in
changed
red.
British Speedway.
Scott Nicholls is in red. I think it's the two we expected for the hosts. Nobody know, and it's Steve Worrell in white. So it's Scott Nicholls red, Sam Masters blue, Steve Worrell white, and Chris Harris yellow. Repeat of heat number 13. Whatever happens here, this has been a fantastic contest. Glasgow did the job on their home shale to get the advantage to come here with tonight. Oxford, whether they advance or they crash out at this point, have given it everything, and you know there's some really encouraging displays from Cameron Heaps, Luke Killeen, good to see Jordan Jenkins back in some kind of form as well.
Yeah, 100%. Although I've just got a gut feeling, I could be very wrong. This is calling Superheat.
Interesting to see the gates, and I think Oxford are off 1 and 3.
And 3.
And Bomber's on his favoured outside line. He's just going to try and rip straight around the outside of everybody off the first turn. But it doesn't matter what Bomber does, if Scott Nicholls and Sam Masters pack in the places, they'll advance. A 3-all or worse for Oxford. So a 3-all or worse for Glasgow, and that's their charge over. So the line of 315 off the inside gate in red is Scott Nicholls. Gate 2 in white is Steve Worrell. Gate 3 in red, Sam Masters. And off the outside in yellow, Chris Harris.
Massive race this.
This is where team riding will come into it. If the Oxford boys know they can just afford to let Bomber go, as long as they work together and sitting behind him. If Bomber does get the lead, that's all they need. There's no need for a heat advantage for Oxford, whereas Glasgow need a heat advantage to at least take us to a super heat.
Yeah, I'm sure Cabby Brown's been putting the pressure on these boys in the white and yellow helmet colours then as we come for what could be the last race of the night. It might not be. Who knows? Superheat potentially incoming. Cabby Brown looking nervous there.
I'd be
Watching on
interested to
from the
know what's
pits.
going through Alan's head at the moment whilst he's on holiday.
I don't even think he's
Oh,
joining us
Bombers
tonight.
broke the tapes.
Tapes infringement. If that's the automated starts with just one side of the tapes going up, then there's no hope for British Speedway.
And that'll make these riders a little bit more nervous. They were all in the zone then, and then they had to pull back for even just for 15 seconds whilst they were put back down.
Start Marshal walks away then. Last race supposedly of the evening, and it's a very, very decent start there for Scotty Nichols off the inside there, and Sam Masters is looking to join in for a 5-1. This is more than enough to send the Cheetahs through to the next round of the Knockout Cup. Can the Glasgow Tigers do anything about this now? As it looks like Scotty and Sam are team riding the Tigers out of this one, and the Tigers Knockout Cup hopes are going to be dashed in the next couple of laps unless something really, really drastic happens here, as the Tigers need a 4-2, and it's the Cheetahs on a 5-1 as they go into the third lap now, and it's looking more and more likely that the Glasgow Tigers are going to be knocked out of the Knockout Cup at this very, very early stage. They did the hard work at home, bringing a 12-point lead here, and it's all gone to pot for the Tigers. We've got one lap left to go then of this race, and barring a massive disaster for the Oxford Cheetahs as they come round the last two bends, it's going to be the Cheetahs that advance to the semi-final of the Knockout Cup with a 5-1.
And that was all done from the start there. Steve Worrell again looked like he had a little bit of a nibble to me, but he didn't benefit from it. Brilliant move in the first turn by Scotty to send Steve out wide, and Sam cut back up the inside, made that decision early on, and then they just team rode and cleared off for it. Bomber couldn't get off gate 4, just a little bit too much traffic for him in the first and second turn, and couldn't land a blow there. But yeah, what a fantastic result for the Oxford fans. Some brilliant racing. This track's really come to him in the second half of the meeting, and the result of Heat 15, it was a win for the rider in red, Scott Nichols. Second in blue was Sam Masters, and third in white, Steve Worrell makes the scores on the night. The Oxford Cheetahs 54, Glasgow Tigers 36, and the aggregate score 93 points to the Cheetahs, 87 to the Tigers.
That was Chris Harris's first loss of the evening.
Peter Schroet there shaking Steve Worrell's hand. Commiserations to the Tigers. You're always going to have somebody upset when you've got two powerhouse teams going at it in the quarterfinals. You know, these two could have easily been finalists.
100%.
And Steve Worrell actually drops the clutch perfectly there. Scott Nichols just sends him off the line from towards mid-track, no man's land, and Sam cuts back. Team ride it home to perfection there, the home boys.
Yeah, 100%, and it's big congratulations to the Oxford Cheetahs, who do advance to the next round of the Knockout Cup. I believe it will be the semi-finals. But yeah, massive congratulations to the Cheetahs. Commiserations to Glasgow Tigers, who just fell short tonight.
Of all the nights we didn't have Alan here, although it's probably for the best, because we'd have been kicked off for bad language or something.
And that's before the first race.
And like we said at the start, reserves win meetings. Ashton Bergen had a really, really tough night for Oxford, but Luke Killeen more than covered his own rides and Ashton's.
Luke Killeen, 8+3, no last places.
No,
you can't ask them
fantastic
all
effort, yeah,
from
fantastic effort. And Henry Atkins as well, you know, Sam and Scott did the work in the last race, but it was the unsung heroes, your Luke Killeen and your Henry Atkins that pick up point. You know, Henry Atkins 7 paid 9, and as you say, Luke Killeen 8 paid 11, whereas James Pearson scored 2+1 and Jack Smith 1+1. They're opposite numbers. It was just an all-round brilliant performance from the Cheetahs.
Yeah, 100%, and you know, again, congratulations to the Cheetahs on that absolutely fine performance tonight. Commiserations to the Tigers, but no doubt Tammy Brown and the Facenas will be gearing them up for the BSN series and the league.
And just to look at the Gate stats to finish up on, Gate 1 scored 23 points tonight, Gate 2 27, Gate 3 scored 25, and Gate 4 16. And if you want to run through the home teams' scorers, I'll run through the away teams, and then we'll bring this to a close.
So the Oxford Cheetahs then 54 points on the night, Sam Masters 12 and a bonus, Henry Atkins 7 and 2, Cameron Heaps 8, Jordan Jenkins 7 and 2, Scott Nichols 12 and 1, Ashton Bowden failed to score, and Luke Colleen 8 plus 3.
For the Glasgow Tigers, Chris Harris scored 11, James Pearson 2 plus 1, Leon Flint 7, Paul Stark 4 plus 1, Steve Worrell 9, Connor Coles 2, and Jack Smith 1 plus 1. Interesting to note from those stats actually, the only three last places or three non-scoring rides of the meeting for Oxford came from Ashton Bowden, whereas Glasgow had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 last places.
Yeah, and you go into these two-legged competitions, you tell your team no last places, and that's not worked for the Tigers tonight. Well, I'm sure the Tigers will bounce back with the management that they have. But it is time now to wrap us up for the evening. So a massive thank you to everyone that's joined us tonight on YouTube. Massive thanks to Dylan for being my co-host again this evening. We don't know when we'll next be live, but you'll see a graphic coming on very soon on D&D Media Facebook page. Go give us a follow, give us a subscribe on Shoot Some Shell here on YouTube. And until next time, from myself, it's a very good night.